Hello everyone, Shroomraver here, and today I'm excited to be bringing you my Week 9 battle for Season 2 Division 1 of the PPL, the Pokemon Premier League. Yes indeed. Now, excuse me, coughing early on. This week we are up against Necro Stevo and the Eterna City Enders, who are a very powerful team. They've claimed a lot of big wins this season already and are looking pretty good sort of mid-table. Now, my team, as you can see down the bottom, is Chestnut, Thundurus, Poliwrath, Sandslash, Mega-Audino and Scyther. Now, if you want a more in-depth look at that team, sort of the specific EVs, movesets, reasons I brought them and the thought process going into building that team, link to the team building video that went up, I believe, yesterday. That will be down in the description below. So yeah, if you want to check that out, do go down there and have a look, see the kind of thoughts that I was having when building that team. Now, Necro Stevo's team. I'll run through it from left to right across the screen. We have Garchomp, Reuniclus, Florges, Megalophony, Toxicroak and Cofagrigus. Now, if you have seen that team building analysis video that I made, you will know that I was expecting Sand in a big way. And mainly for the Stoutland's offensive presence over the Tyranitar's defensive one. But as you can see, he did not bring Sand. This is a little bit of a problem. I've kind of prepped for the wrong team here, but I'm thinking it's okay because I can still utilise my strategies against a non-Sand team. Now, funnily enough, I was not the only one in this battle who prepped for the wrong team. Stevo was very much expecting a different team on my side as well, which makes for a very interesting dynamic in this battle to see who will come out on top against a team they weren't necessarily expecting. But looking at it, I was kind of thinking defensive-ish Garchomp, probably expecting my Victini. Reuniclus is a problem, you know, we've seen it perform very well, taking the top spot in kills in the D-League Season 2 that's just gone. Florges, we'll come back to Florges. You know, Lopunny I can deal with, hopefully Toxicroak too, at least Scyther can deal with them. And Cofagrigus, you know, I have something in play to deal with that, hopefully. The Florges. The more I saw the Florges, the more I looked at it, the more I sort of realised I have nothing for Florges. Absolutely nothing for Florges. And it's a problem. If that thing is like Fizz, Death, Calm Mind, I'm going to be in a world of pain because I have nothing that can deal with it. Outside of sacking like 2 mons to get it into revenge killing range, we're going to be in a pickle, as Troy would say. But you know what? We're going to have a go at this. We're going to see exactly how well we can do with this team. I decided to lead with my Chestnut, so without further ado, let's get right into the battle and see how things played out. Okay, Necro is issuing his challenge. At the last minute, I decided to lead with Chestnut. Usually I'd have gone with Thundy, but this time I went with Chestnut. And this works out well because he is going to lead with Cofagrigus. Now I go for the taunt first turn. He reveals he doesn't seem to be having the magic coat, so I get a taunt off as he goes for the kind of predicted Will-O-Wisp. This is fine because he switches out, proving that his probable only offensive move is Shadow Ball, which won't affect me. He goes into his Reuniclus as I get up my first layer of spikes. This is absolutely grand, exactly what I wanted to happen. However, what I didn't realise about this plan was that once it's happened, I have to switch into a Reuniclus. Not an easy thing to do. My only real option is to go into Sandslash here as he goes for a Calm Mind, which is initially quite scary, but I'm thinking it's nothing I can't deal with. This thing is Assault Vest, it's got massive physical defense in case he's packing Psyshock. So what I'm going to do is go for the knockoff, just to get rid of an item. He doesn't reveal Colbur, so that's good. He's actually rocking out with the leftovers, which is fairly standard enough, that's fine. And he goes for the Psyshock, which is good. As I say, massive physical defense investment and HP. I'm going to take that nicely, it's a 3-hit KO. So here I'm going to go for Super Fang, just to kind of try and get as much damage as possible. He does reveal the Recover. And what's going to happen here is a series of him trying to get rid of my Sandslash, and me trying to get him into a position where I can revenge him with Scyther. So I'm going to go for Super Fang again. The safe play, he goes for Psyshock. Now at some point here, what I probably should have done was switched into Scyther, make the offensive play, knowing that he can't take me out at +1. But I just keep going for Super Fang. Like, I know he's going to recover here. There's no two ways about it. I know he's going to. So it's unfortunate, really. he's going to be in a position where he can take out my Sandslash. Now thankfully I have trained this Sandslash in the mountains, so all of my Super Fangs are going to land. So by the time he takes me down with Psyshock, as there we go, down goes Sandslash, he is going to be in that very revengeable range for Scyther to come in and take him out. And I go for Aerial Ace. Now, Aerial Ace is a roll on defensive Reuniclus, which I've ascertained that he is by now. He goes for the recover. I should have just taken him out of Bug Bite. I thought he might switch. I thought I might take him out. I don't know. I know what I was thinking. And this is the first instance of me playing Scyther very badly this game. Now, I know I can two-shot him from there, and I know that Psyshock can't one-shot me. It's going to leave me, as you'll see here, with 58 HP. And here is the point where he is going to withdraw his Reuniclus and go back into his Cofagrigus. Now he takes spike damage, which is fine. I'm going to go for the Aerial Ace, and it's just really going to do absolutely nothing at this point. And the worst thing is, Mummy is going to kick in. This means I no longer have Technician, and I'm just so not a threat to him right now. Like, absolutely not. With leftovers, I don't think I 3-shot him. I might not even 4-shot him from there. I don't know. Either way, I'm not risking Scyther. So I'm going to go back into Nay. That is, of course, my Chestnut, and to see exactly what he's going to do. And he goes for Toxic Spikes. This is bad. I don't have a Poison type. My Sandslash is gone. They are there to stay. This is a massive, massive issue for me. But what I think here is that he's going to see the Taunt coming. Because I went for it last time, there's no reason I wouldn't go for it again. And he's going to go back out into his Reuniclus, knowing that I probably can't take him out. I do go for my second layer of spikes, and what I'm going to do here is make a fairly ballsy play. I stay in, knowing outspeed. I'm going to go for the Taunt, because he's going to want to recover, and he's going to predict me to switch out. And that's exactly the series of events that happens. So what I'm going to do now, knowing that a Psyshock is coming my way, all he can do probably, is go into my Audino. I'm in before the second layer of Toxic Spikes, which is good, because it means that poison damage is not going to rack up as much. He has to go for the Psyshock, it's all he can do really, and he gets a crit, which is unfortunate. Like, I have healing, but after poison damage and that crit I'm going to be at just over half, which is not a position I want to be in, and it kind of forces my hand here. Normally, I'd have been going for a Wish right about now, but because of that crit I am just going to be pressured into going for the Dazzling Gleam and just straight taking out this Reuniclus before it can do any more damage to me, which is what happens. So, Reuniclus is finally down, nice little KO for Mega-Audino right there. But another thing that results from that crit, meaning I'm a massively lower amount of health than I should have been, in can come the Lopunny. Now, I don't really have anything that wants to switch in. Mega-Audino's at too low of health to be able to take these hits particularly well anymore, and Sandslash is gone. And Chestnut is specially defensive. So he's going to be able to Mega up, and he's going to go for the safe Fake Out here. Which, you know, is absolutely fine. It's going to do tiny damage, 24 points of health to Mega-Audino. If I was at full health, we'd be looking golden right about now. Unfortunately, it means that he can go for that safe return, and he will be able to take out my Mega-Audino from there. So now my Cleric is gone, and my universal switch into things is gone. We're not looking in a good position. What I can do is go into Scyther. I'm scarfed out speed, but he smells a rat. You know, Necro sees something is amiss, and he's just going to go into the guy. Cofagrigus comes in. Once again, I don't make the play that I should have done, which is go for knockoff. The switch was obvious. He wasn't staying in. And, you know, I do damage, but once again, Mummy kicks in, and it's looking dubious as to whether, after Leftovers recovery, I'll be able to take him out with another Aerial Ace. But right about now, I'm running out of things to switch into, and it's rapidly going downhill for me. So, out goes Scyther, who is still fairly important for me, and I'm going to go into my Chestnut once again, who still is proving to be a bit of an issue for this guy. He can't Will-O-Wisp me, but he's going to go for his second layer of T-Spikes right about now. This is a problem. If I want to try and sweep leg in with Poliwrath, that's going to hinder me. So he's going to get some Leftovers recovery, I'm going to get some poison damage. What I'm thinking here is that once again the Taunt is too obvious. The Taunt is very, very obvious for going on him. So I go for Toxic instead, predicting a switch out into Florges. But he stays in, and this is where he reveals Pain Split. And I can't believe it. I had an opportunity to taunt him, I didn't take it, and now his Cofagrigus is right back up to a really nice range of health. If I'd have just taunted him that turn, then we would have been golden. Unfortunately, I didn't take the opportunity. And now we're left in this position, where his Cofagrigus is right back up to a nice amount of health for him, and I'm at half and I'm poisoned and life is just a whole world of pain right now. I really need to dig deep to try and scramble back into this game. Anyway, he can't do anything to me, he's got up his hazards, he can't status me, Pain Split's useless and he can't hit me with Shadow Ball, so he's going to make a very offensive play, go into his Toxicroak, which is fairly safe. I do go for the taunt a turn too late, and this would affect his Toxicroak. We'll see his full moveset in a little bit in this game, but he shows Black Sludge, which at least means he's not Life Orb, which is grand. But I don't have a switch into a gunk shot at this point. That was supposed to be Sand Slash, which is now not happening. So I have to sack off Chestnut. He goes for the gunk shot and he misses, which is unfortunate but not game changing. There was not a lot of hacks in this game, which is always nice to see. But yeah, I'm just going to go for the Drain Punch. It's the only move I have to really go for this on this thing, even if it's not going to do a whole amount to it. He's getting Black Sludge back, I get my leftovers. There's going to be a lot of after turns going on here, where basically I'm just thinking I need to sack Chestnut, and I need a free switch into my Cypher to try and do anything to this guy. So, eventually we're going to get the gunk shot off, and that's going to destroy my Chestnut, of course. It would have probably taken me out if I was physically defensive, let's be real here. And he gets some Black Sludge recovery back. Now, I've counted this. I know that a Sucker Punch from this guy will leave me at max roll with 1 HP on my Scythe. Now, I was banking on him not knowing this and just going for it, so he goes once again into the Cofagrigus. He takes some big hazard damage from the spikes. Once again, I don't bother clicking anything but Aerial Ace, which is a problem. And now, once again, Mummy kicks in, and here I should have played it safe again. I should have played it safe again, because it's still a roll as to whether Aerial Ace will take him out. I was more I was more hopeful after toxic damage that this Aerial Ace will take out the Cofagrigus. I go for the Aerial Ace, and he lives with 7 HP. He lives with 7 HP, and the Shadow Ball is going to come in, and that is going to take out my my little Sis. I should have gone into Thundurus there and just gone for the Dark Pulse. Next turn, that's what I should have done. But I didn't, and now I'm going to suffer for it because my Scarfit is gone. The Cofagrigus is going to go down, so a nice little KO for Chestnut from beyond the grave, if you'll pardon that pun against a Cofagrigus. So we've got a double down. I go into my Thundurus, and he goes into his Toxicroak, which is just bad. I'd have been in a much better position if I went into my Poliwrath, but I didn't. I'm going to go for Dark Pulse here. At this point, I'm fighting a losing battle. I don't really know what I'm doing anymore. I don't have a move to hit this thing beyond HP Ice, so I guess I was looking for a flinch. He goes for the Gunk Shot, and what I'm actually looking for here is him to take me out, because my idea here is to try and set up the rain for Poliwrath to just do anything. At this point, it's a case of rescuing differential. There's nothing else I can do. So I go for Rain Dance here, which he was not expecting, it would seem. And what he's going to do is try and take me out first with a Sucker Punch, which of course not going to work. It's good for me because the rain is up for Poliwrath, but it's bad because he's now getting double recovery with Dry Skin, and this is a bad situation. So here, all I want is for him to take out my Thundurus. That's all I want. So I go for Hidden Power. I'm spurred on by the fact that he hasn't gone for Sucker Punch. He might have gone for Gunk, I get a crit, and he just goes for Bulk Up. Which is just not what I wanted to see in the slightest. I just wanted him to try and take me out, but he didn't. He's going to get Dry Skin recovery, he's going to get Black Sludge recovery, and after poison damage, you will see that my Thundurus is going to be living on 1 hit point. There it is. So I just go for the Hidden Power Ice here, and now is when he chooses to go for Sucker Punch, making very, very good plays with Toxicroak here. Down goes Thundurus, and he gets his Dry Skin recovery, he's going to get his Black Sludge recovery, and all I have left is a Poliwrath. But he's got a Bulk Up off, which means that even with max investment in attack, even with a Life Orb, Earthquake, which is going to come in here, is not going to be enough to take out this thing without a crit. We go for it, and we don't get a crit. And he's going to be able to go for the Gunk Shot, and what I always seem to forget is that fighting does not resist poison. So the Gunk Shot comes in, he hits it, it does huge damage, enormous, vile amounts of damage. Even if I was packing Vacuum Wave at this point, it wouldn't matter because he'd be able to live it. I take a bit of toxic damage, and you know, I'm at the range where even with my resistance and good natural bulk, Sucker Punch is going to be able to take out my my Poliwrath from there. Down goes Captain Hammer, and that is going to be the game. So, we take a huge 4-0 loss to Necro Stevo and the Eterna City Enders. This is not how I wanted this game to go, of course. I was bitterly disappointed in my own performance. I think I performed badly in that one. I prepped for the wrong team. I over-centralized a threat that never came in the form of Sand. But, you know, I thought even without Sand, Rain would be able to put in some decent work against him. But I didn't get enough chip damage on his walls by the time I did. You know, there just wasn't enough time for Polyrath to do anything. And this is to take nothing away from Stevo, by the way. He played a fantastic game. He hadn't prepped for the exact team that I brought, but he was able to adapt to it much better than I ever could. He used his Cofagrigus incredibly well to take on Scyther, who should have been putting in much more of a shift, but I played Scyther badly as well. I never made a play. I just clicked Aerial Ace every single time, even when switches were clearly coming my way. So, you know, I played badly. Stevo played very well, especially with that Toxicroak, as I say, stalling out the rain for a little bit, getting the boost when he could, and then going for Sucker Punch. Very intelligently played by him. And yeah, by the time it came to setting up my rain, it was too late. There was very little I could do. Florges, that was a problem that didn't even matter because it never hit the field, nor did Garchomp. Two of his mons didn't hit the field, which is just, that kind of tells the story of how one-sided this battle was and how badly I played and how very well Stevo did. And then it even came to the thing that worked well, you know, even the one thing I had that worked well, that being Chestnut. You know, I had a plan in place. Have Chestnut in on the Cofagrigus, taunt it, force it to switch out if its only offensive move is Shadow Ball, and then get Spikes up. That entire situation played out, but what I didn't account for was his switching being Reuniclus. Because as soon as he switched in Reuniclus, I kind of went, now what do I do? And I had nothing. I didn't want to risk Scyther because I thought it was too important. And it was just a car crash, really. That whole battle was an absolute comedy of errors, which left us with a 4-0 defeat and a very well-deserved victory for Necro Stevo. Now, his links, by the way, will be in the description, of course. Make sure you head down there and check it out. You'll see his side of this battle, his team building videos, all the other videos of his for the PPL, and the rest of his fantastic content. Do go and check out him and his wonderful voice. You will not regret it, I promise you, so do yourself a favour, check out Necro Stevo. You can also check out links to the PPL Twitter and YouTube. They will be down in the description below for all your PPL news to keep up to date with everything going on in Division 1 and Division 2. Head to those links and you will find out everything you need to know. So, where does that leave us, gang? Well, I'll tell you where it leaves us. It leaves Parasect Germain at 7-2, which is still a very creditable score to be at. Now, I'm going to mention some spoilers right about now. So if you don't want to know what has happened in some of the other games and how it's affecting the table, cut away now, right? Cut away now, mute the volume, I will wave at the camera when it is safe for you to come back, because spoilers are about to begin. Are you ready? 3, 2, 1, spoilers are about to begin. We are still in this. Okay? Don't panic. We may have lost, but you know who else lost this week? RTK. Alex Onesie Bayonet came through with a big win over RTK. Well, I say a big win. Big in terms of the result. You know, it was a 1-0 victory for Alex. But it's big for us because it means that RTK is also at 7-2. Which is, you know, huge. Because we play him next week. Okay? And I'm going to come on to more of that in a little bit when spoilers are done. But essentially, we're still in this because we're both at 7-2. Okay, we're safe to cut back now. I waved at the camera. So, spoilers are all done with. Next week... next week. Next week is a big one. Because next week sees us face off against RTK, who has been our closest rival for the entire season. He is a wholly underrated player, especially in this format. People sleep on him, and they can't, because he's one of the best going. He's got a very good team, and he's still closest to us in positioning. You know, we're still the top 2 teams, which makes things very interesting indeed, because the top 2 teams play each other next week. You know who else plays each other next week? 3rd and 4th, who are also very close to us. This season is coming right down to the wire. You are not going to want to miss these games, guys. I promise you. So stay tuned for the games coming up. It'll be later this week, I suppose. Me versus RTK is going to be huge. You do not want to miss it, so stay tuned for that. But that's going to be pretty much it from me. So thank you all very much for watching. I do hope that you've enjoyed. Season ain't over yet, gang. We can still rescue this. It's going to be tough, but we can still do it. Do you believe we can? I certainly do. So keep supporting Parasect Germain, guys, because we are still going for the top. But that's going to be it from me. So my final thank you to you all for watching. And I guess with that, I'll see you all next time. Laters.